Hi, welcome to the first of 9 Business Leadership Series in 2025, presented by USPAACC. My name is Susan Now Allen, National President and CEO at USPAACC. This is a unique opportunity for business owners to have substantive discussions about building and sustaining your business on an upward trajectory. Hone in or further develop your leadership skills, including lessons learned from industry experts or folks who have made mistakes that you want to avoid. This year, USPAACC is celebrating our Ruby Jubilee, and I'd like to invite you to join and celebrate with us at our 40th anniversary celebration business procurement conference on June 3 to 5 at the MGM National Harbor Hotel in Oxon Hill, Maryland, 15 minutes from Reagan National Airport. Celebration is the largest and longest running business development conference presented by Pan-Asian Americans, dedicated to empowering businesses by connecting them to the right people at the right time in the right place to foster collaborative relationships. Our 40th anniversary will be a very special milestone because there is no other business organizations like USPAACC with a 40-year track record and without pause that serve the aspirations of Pan-Asian American businesses as a contributing member to our country's prosperity. And we'll be honored to have you with us. The registration link is in the chat box to the right. So please join us to expand your own network, meet new business opportunities, make friends, and help to create a bigger and positive economic impact together with us. Today's topic is strategic thinking for entrepreneurs. And our speaker, Pramod Sajja, is president of Farm to Plate and Paramount Software Solutions Incorporated. At 26 years old, he started his business and has led it to a 300-employee enterprise today. Pramod has won numerous awards, such as the Atlanta Business Chronicle Small Business Person of the Year, and he is also a 6-time USPAACC Fast 100 winners. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Pramod.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Thanks for the warm introduction. I want to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Pramod Sajja, founder CEO of Paramount Software Solutions and Farm to Plate. We are here today to discuss about strategic thinking for entrepreneurs and for leaders. And before I start off, I also want to thank USPAACC for giving me this opportunity. So this might be for entrepreneurs who are stuck. It could be for startup entrepreneurs. It could be for entrepreneurs who already had the business for 5-6 years, but they're kind of stuck. They hit the ceiling, which happens to the best of us. So believe me when I say that. So that's where today we're going to be talking about strategic thinking for entrepreneurs, where I'm going to give you guys the framework, the tools, and the methodologies that you could implement so that you could make a difference in the next 3 to 5 years of roadmap. Studies show that why strategic thinking matters. Studies show that companies who have proactively implemented or thought about strategic planning has increased their revenues by 30% compared to their competitors. So this is the reason why it's very important for companies to have strategic thinking in the world that we are living in right now, because especially if you're a tech company, with the changes that are happening right now, you're not planning for the next month or the next year, but the planning has gone from next month to today and tomorrow. So this is the reason why it's very important to have the strategic thinking in place so that you could go through it. And the planning, the methodologies that we're going to showcase we'll walk you through the whole framework. And then let's open it up for any questions at the end. What you will walk away with today is, as I just mentioned, a framework. A framework is, again, it doesn't have to be followed in the same fashion that we provided, and it will give you the tools and also the methods to measure. So you got the framework, you got the tools, you got the methods how to measure your KPIs. All you have to do is bring in your people to implement this, and then you're golden. You're good to go. So visionary framework, it's not trademark or anything. Thanks to our team who have come up with this, we have implemented. So while I walk you through the visionary framework that we implemented, I'll try and give as many examples as possible, so that way you can resonate, you can feel that, okay, this has been done and this is how it needs to be done. So just for sake of, so that way we don't forget, we kind of came up with the visionary, which stands for vision definition, innovation insight, situation analysis, integration of goals, opportunity identification, navigating challenges, action planning, resource optimization, and yield measurement. We will get this all together to form your framework for strategic thinking, and then take it to the next level. So vision definition, the first step towards that is vision definition. So when it could be, you are a startup company or someone who's stuck, you hit the ceiling. When you plan for your next phase, identifying your core values, identifying your vision is the first and foremost thing. And why it is so important is because you're not just because a bunch of C-suites are not sitting together to come up with a vision. If it's not communicated properly to the rest of the team, you will spend 40% of your time, communicating that vision and putting out the fire. So this is the reason why it's very important that you first identify the vision and you envision the future state of your vision. Because when you have a vision, it has to be solving a problem for your client, not necessarily for yourself. So, your vision always have to be envisioned for future, and the same has to come together. It has to be aligned by communicating that to all the team members for all across. Innovation insight, which is going to drive your differentiation. And innovation is not just for tech companies. Innovation is something that has to be implemented by everyone. And this is not just for a C-suite. Just to give an example, a lot of our innovation at our company, be it at Paramount Software or Farm to Plate, 9 out of 10 ideas that we implemented, it could be a feature, it could be a functionality, it could be a module, or it could be a product altogether. All of it has come from our team members. So innovation is, you're always brainstorming, you're always going through the process of not just creating center of excellences, but you also have to make sure that, what is the next big thing? How can you take technology? What is the next wave? Keeping updated yourself about the future and the trends is also very, very important. So which goes to show that, this particular slide talks about the fact that you have to innovate on a day-to-day basis, not just create center of excellence, but you always have to go through the process of innovation with the whole team. Situation analysis. When you find yourself stuck, like the one that I just mentioned, when you hit the ceiling, it's very important that you pause and then you look at the tools. You have to implement some of the tools. One of it could be SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats. A lot of companies fail thinking that this is not put out, but they think like, oh, we've got the strengths, we're good at this particular thing. But the fact that they're not having a strategy built around your SWOT, because a lot of the threats can also be converted to opportunities. So it's very important that you make a note of your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats, and you can also follow pestle analysis. And I'll give an example of how the pestle analysis really helped us out. Last year, when we were in the process of expanding globally, we had our offices in Europe, in Denmark, and also in Dubai for the MENA market. So for one of the continents, through our research, we've come to know that our political, economic, and social conditions doesn't favor us to go into that particular continent. So even though we were literally about to step into the continent, we kind of stopped ourselves by doing our analysis, which saved us hundreds and thousands of dollars. So this is the reason why it's very important. In certain situations, yes, you have to understand whether, as part of your global expansion, if you should be going into some continents, and you have to consider the political, economic, social, technological, and legal aspects into your expansion. And competitive analysis. This is very important, because if you don't know what your competition is doing, thinking that, we are creating the next big thing, and your competition, the competition doesn't necessarily have to be coming from the big enterprises. It could be coming from a company, from a startup also. So it's very important that you make analysis of your competition on a day-to-day basis as part of your situation analysis. integration of your goals, and this ties into your teams. Your teams play a very big role because companies often fail because the features, functionalities, products are decided and defined by the C-suite, and the fact that it has not been aligned with your team and interdepartmental, cross-departmental alignment is not done, is where a lot of companies fail. So when coming up with the company goals and tying them with the teams is also very important. And one of the major aspects that you have to consider when you define a goal is that it has to follow a SMART methodology. And I'm pretty sure that everyone is aware of the SMART, and it's very important. There are tools that you could use to define it. For us, for Farm to Plate and Paramount Software, we've actually implemented entrepreneurial operating system. It's about 7 years. It started out with our core team, and then we cascaded during COVID to cascade it to all of our team members, all onshore, offshore. And the fact that today we won multiple awards for our culture, multiple awards for our, for having innovation at the core, and every team member getting assigned and aligned with our goals is the fact that we followed certain tools. And in our case, it's EOS, which really helped us in a very big way. And one of the major things that has been taught as part of the EOS is SMART goals. You have to, they call it rocks in that ecosystem. So you have to have your goals between 3 and 5 in a quarter, and they have to follow the SMART methodology. So we've achieved a lot of success by following this, and also other tools like, right person at the right place. But the fact that you got your goals and how you implement it and how you align it with your team members is also very important as part of your integrating, as part of the company goals, aligning with the team goals. And opportunity identification. So this is also very important because this is going to spot your growth avenues, and it can be done like your sales funnel. It can be done through market research. It can be done through customer feedback. If you're a company, you already have established clients. So getting the feedback from your clients is very, very important. And you leverage technology, whether you are a tech company, non-tech company. If you're a tech company, it's even more important that you have to leverage technology. I'll give an example of leveraging technology. We live in the world of AI right now, and we are seeing that AI is growing, and it is going to grow in the next 5 to 10 years. It is going to change our lives, both professionally and personally, in ways that we can't even fathom. So this is a great example of, I heard that, this is on LinkedIn, that there is a startup founder who found a company for his pre-seed funding. He didn't have the time to go ahead and go for send messages to investors. So he built an agent where the agent went on to talk to all the investors for 3 months and raised about $9 million without the founder talking to single investor or a venture funding in the last 3 months. So this goes to show and prove that technology is changing, the ecosystem of technology is changing, and that we could use it to our benefit to make sure that could be the next growth avenue for us. Customer feedback has always been a great tool or a method, to understand, what is that. Talking to customers gives us the idea, gives us the knowledge as to what exactly is the need of there. A lot of entrepreneurs, startup founders make the mistake of thinking that what we are thinking, the product or the feature that we're building is the best. There's nobody out there. But the chances are you go into a market, find that that's not. So for our Farm to Plate, we've done something. We've talked, as part of our market research, there are 2 options. You could either go, buy some resources, or you could actually do on your own. I would strongly advise everyone to do your own market research. And our team has done it with about 100 companies to find out what is the feature that's more valued, what's more preferred by the industry, not what we think is important. So your market research, your customer feedback, and leveraging technology, these are your methods to make sure to identify the next big opportunity for you. Navigating challenges. Every company, whether you're a small business, medium business, large enterprise, you are going to be coming across challenges. How you anticipate those challenges, how you prepare for those challenges, and how you communicate and bridge the gaps is what is very important. So here you can see about 5 steps. The first step being your contingency plans. When you come across a challenge, what is that you're going to be doing? Everything has to be communicated, documented, and communicated with your team, And you also have to have a lot of training exercises that needs to be done with your team, especially if you are a remote with global offices, global team members. It's very important that you create a culture and you create a team resilience, and they all come together, for you to handle your obstacles in a lot faster way than, rather than stifling you with your progress. And step 3 is adapting to strategies. Again, there are a lot of strategies that are out there for us. One of it is US, which I mentioned. So that tool helped us really to get the whole team together, all cross-functional, cross-border teams together, wherein we all, as a company, we adapted to those strategies. And then challenge assessment. You're going to be having challenges. It could be from an outside challenge, or it could be an inside challenge with your own team. So how to assess that, how to overcome that, how to discuss it, and use the tools to implement it to overcome is also very, very important. And then last but not the least, your response strategy. So how, when you find a solution to a problem, you have to discuss it with the team. So that's what we've seen, that, that level of success, not just because we position Farm to Plate as a startup, but the fact that every team member has been embedded into decision making, has embedded into navigating the challenges, be it on the product engineering side or the sales side. We all work as a team, come and solve the challenge as a team. So that's what has helped us, navigate through the challenges that we face. Because as a startup, as a product, as a startup product, you will always coming across challenges. It could be from a client, it could be from a competitor, or the fact that the technology is no longer valid because some of the technologies came into overtake the old technology. So navigating your challenges, your action planning. So now you got your SWOT analysis done, you've come up with your plans, your vision has been communicated to your team, and now you take your goals, your SMART goals, into action. So you have to have a detailed action plan. I'll give an example. So in the US process, every quarter we come up with rocks. As I said, our goals are called rocks, and each one of the team member has to come up with 3 to 7, not less than 3, not more than 7. And they all have to follow the SMART methodology, define it. And then every week you have to, we call it level 10, wherein you talk, you discuss, you call something called ideas, you identify, you discuss, and you solve the problems for every team member. So as part, and everything is aligned and tied to your rock. So this way, when you have a detailed action plan and what has been done, and on a weekly basis you're discussing, so this way you're not pushing the problems that come up under the rug, but rather you're discussing and solving and moving on to the next stage. So again, the rock system will follow timelines and responsibilities. I highly would encourage a lot of the small business to implement EOS, or at least look into it as to how to follow the strategies of EOS. And prioritizing a task is also very important, because, as I said, these rocks are only for 3 months, for quarter, but you have to start to break them and crush them on a priority basis. So prioritizing your task on a daily, on a weekly, on an hourly basis is very important to get to the finish line. Resource optimization. This is divided into financial, human, and technological. Especially for startup founders who are bootstrapped, financial plays a very, very big role. Your key resources are your human capital, your financial resources, and the technology that you are, if you're a tech company, the technology that you are using. So in my experience, I would say guard your finances like Fort Knox. Use it very, very wisely, and plan for it. Your planning should not be in terms of, I have an 18-month run rate. Don't think in those lines. Like, every dollar that you're going to be spending, make sure that it is being used to a product market fit, or to build a feature functionality that is needed by the client. So the more you safeguard your finances, the longer you can last, by bootstrapping. And that's a very ideal situation. You don't want to be the one getting into the market asking for money, because when that happens, you'll be spending a lot of your time as an innovator, as an entrepreneur, in raising money rather than building a product. It's very important. And human capital is also very, very important, because you have to upskill, reskill your human capital, because they're the ones, if you're a tech company, again, My experience comes from a tech, so I would be talking a lot about the tech and the fact that you rely and lean on your human capital, train them in the right way, and align their goals and the company goals, and put them all in one process-oriented system. Using the technology can get to the result faster than taking a long time. So this is where your resource optimization is going to play a very big role as part of your strategic thinking. Yield measurement. So when you have your goals, your action plans in action, you'll start to see the results on a daily, on a weekly basis. One of it is key performance indicators, and you have to keep the momentum of your team members. Performance reviews is one thing. We in our company, we don't do it because we follow flat management, so it's more of a mentor-mentee situation, not a top-down. So we don't have the performance reviews, but yeah, we value our team members. And your key resources have to be identified, have to be provided, and a lot of things. HR can come up with a lot of ideas and implement those, to bring that value into the human capital. And while you do it, strategy adjustments is very important, because irrespective of following certain strategy, certain design thinking methodology, you still are going to be coming across a problem. Let me give an example. You built a module, there is a feature, you felt that the current your client or a future client is going to need it, and you went and implemented it. You felt that that's not their priority, that's not their highest priority, they want some other features. So that's where you come back, and then you change your goal, you change your strategy. That's what is called strategy adjustment. So this comes in when you are measuring the yields, because as I said, you always have to keep your eyes and ears open to what your client wants. Don't build anything, don't solve anything for you, but try and solve it for the industry and for your client. So yeah, I guess that's all your visionary framework. You do this in order and go from one point to the other point. You will amass a lot of knowledge, and you're cascading this to your team members, because none of these frameworks can be implemented without having your senior executives, your middle management, and your junior executives part of it. So once you do it, follow this framework with the tools that has been provided and measuring the KPIs and the success. Before you know it, you will be positioned in a way that you are going to take over the next big challenge of your company. So lastly, I would want to say that strategic thinking is not something that you implement it for the next year, but it is thinking of a future. You're forecasting, you're imagining a future that doesn't exist yet, but you're planning for it to be a leader in that. So that's exactly what strategic thinking means, and following certain frameworks is really going to put you on that map to achieve whatever has been planned for you. So thank you so much once again. And information is provided. USPAACC, you can always reach out to USPAACC, and my information is also on the slide. So if you have the need to reach out, I do provide mentor-mentee opportunities too. So I'll be more than happy to answer any questions or provide a more detailed framework and walk you through the process if needed.